guys, how's it going? My name is CJ, and whilst the internet world has been awash with excitement or disappointment over the red iPhone, if you weren't paying attention, then you might have missed the fact that Apple had quietly updated their line of iPads. More specifically, they retired the iPad Air 2 and replaced it with the iPad. Yeah, just the iPad. Now presumably this is just Apple trying to simplify the naming of their tablets, with their standard model being simply called the iPad, their smaller version called the iPad mini, and of course their higher end cream of the crop models being blessed with the Pro moniker. The iPad is being touted as the affordable everyday tablet that can still do maybe 80% of what the iPad Pro can do. So is it worth it? Let's take a look. As with all Apple products, the unboxing experience is one of the cleanest. It's a simple box with a side-on view of the iPad as with other models. It takes a little bit of shaking to get the lid off, and there you have the iPad wrapped neatly in its plastic skin, like a banana peel protecting its fruity goodness inside. Peeling it away, and you're left with, well, an iPad. For those that have used the iPad Air 2 or the 9-inch Pro, you might notice that it's marginally thicker, 1.4mm thicker in fact. But that also means it doesn't have that unsightly camera bump that the Pro models have. But moving on, the main reason for thickness is because Apple got rid of the laminated, anti-reflective display that's used in the previous Air 2 and Pro models. So if you look closely at it, the screen won't appear quite as flush with the surface of the glass, and you'll see very slightly that the screen is recessed when compared with the iPhone 7 or the iPad Pros. It now runs the A9 chip that you saw in the iPhone 6s, which is a slight bump up from the A8X chip found in the iPad Air, but not quite as fast as the A9X chip you see in the Pro models. Overall, however, the A9 is still pretty much a beast, and when comparing it for everyday use, there really isn't much of a difference, if any. Just from initial impressions, performance is excellent. The iPad is plenty quick and breezes through multitasking, including with split screen mode. It tackles everyday tasks like surfing the web, gaming, watching YouTube, and even other tasks like taking you through recipes in the kitchen like a champion. It's marginally heavier than the 9-inch iPad Pro at 469 grams versus 437. But again, when speaking about general use, it's a negligible difference. Handling the iPad otherwise feels the same as any other iPad. It's a slim, solid, and premium feeling device for sure. The screen is the same size as the 9-inch Pro and Air 2, and it also maintains the same resolution. It doesn't match the Pro in features with the auto white balancing true tone display, nor does it have the wider P3 color gamut, but it's still a beautiful Retina display to look at. Colors are natural, and they remain consistent throughout watching videos and looking at photos. And whilst we're talking about photos, we don't really like to talk about the camera because I still believe iPad or tablet photography is an abomination. But my parents, and probably your parents too, love it. So the iPad shares the same cameras that you see on the 12-inch iPad Pro in the form of a solid 8-megapixel shooter on the back paired with a pretty bang average 1.2-megapixel shooter on the front. Decent enough for FaceTime calls and whatever people use tablet cameras to shoot. The overall experience is almost the same experience you got with the iPad Air 2 and even to some extent the 9-inch iPad Pro. Sure, it's missing some of the features like 4-speaker audio, LED camera flash, smart keyboard, Apple Pencil support, and the impressive Pro display, but that's not really the point of this device. The new iPad is supposed to encompass the core of using an iPad for the consumer and make it accessible to more people, and I think it's nailed it. The iPad still looks, feels, and functions great as you'd expect a new iPad to. So is it worth it? Well, if you own an iPad older than an iPad Air and you don't really need the Apple Pencil, then for me it's a resounding yes. Despite its small shortcomings, the iPad still provides an excellent experience, and for the everyday consumer, user experience is king. If you already own an iPad Air 2 or one of the Pro models, then you certainly don't need to rush out to buy one. But starting at just $469 Australian dollars or $329 US dollars, it's certainly the cheapest it's ever been to own one. And when you're comparing an equivalent tablet at this price, there really is no competition. especially when you factor in performance and ecosystem. So what do you think? Are you going to pick one up, or are you going to wait for the next Pro model? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like the video, be sure to smash the like button, and if you haven't already, do consider subscribing. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Say good day to your mum for me. Cheers.